we can answer them in the order that they were actually received, right? The other thing is, as far as if you have any tech questions, tech-related questions, we'll try and actually, if you could send, we'll give you the email where you can literally send any tech-related questions, like, hey, you have questions about access to VIP. I saw a lot of those questions come up. You signed up but didn't get the VIP link, or you didn't get the VIP access. Or hey, you signed up for 2.0 and you're having a little tech difficulty. So those, I would recommend you actually send them to a dedicated email, which is cf2support@clickfunnels.com, cf2support@clickfunnels.com, so that we can actually spend more time addressing questions about, hey, what, about your funnel, how are you going to move forward, what's your idea, who are you targeting? So things like that, we could spend more time and actually give you the most, value while you're on this call, and then reserve those other questions, especially if it's tech related, because within the time frame that we only have about an hour. We can't really address all those questions. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone.
Perfect. So we're now streaming on Facebook. So if you are catching this in your newsfeed on Facebook, or you're watching in the group, this is the implementation session for day number 1 of the Your First Funnel Challenge. So my name's Morag. With me today is Lee. We're going to be just 2 of your coaches over the next 5 days. So if you have any questions when it comes to the homework, like how do I do this? Or, I need to brainstorm something with you. We're going to have these Zoom sessions every day in the afternoon, usually around about an hour after the main session finishes. So for those of you that were kind of wondering what happened to today's session, if you saw it in the events, that's there. And then also what we're going to have in the morning, there's going to be a session before we get started with the day. There will be a chance in the morning as well. So 2 times each day, tomorrow morning, and then again in the afternoon. And what time does that morning session start, Lee?
8:30, some Pacific Standard Time, so it should be 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. But you can definitely go to World Time Buddy. I tend to get everyone to go to worldtimebuddy.com, and then it's 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. But then you can just backtrack and see what time it is. So it's right before Russell's training, and it's about an hour before Russell's training, and then there's kind of like 15 minutes in between before Russell actually goes live.
Okay, so if you're doing your homework later today, you get stuck with something, you can jump in first thing in the morning. You'll find it under the events tab. So you'll find that information, you'll find the Zoom link there. So then you can just set your alarm in the morning, depending on your time zone, late at night, and jump in there and get your questions answered. So these sessions are usually about 60 minutes long. So we are just going to jump into it. If you're joining us here, best place to ask your question is in Zoom, because we'll be able to follow through your questions. We're going to move really quickly. You will have the replay. So we'll go ahead and get started. Do bear with us. If we have a ton of people jumping on, that we might not be able to answer all questions in the time that we have, we'll do our best, and we'll still be coming. Well, I'm going to hang around for a few hours, like a couple of hours after the session, and just make sure I'm answering questions there. So let's go ahead here. I've got today's OnePager open. Thank you for those of you who put your questions in Q&A already. So I'm just going to kick off here. Julia is asking, if you buy your domain through ClickFunnels, does ClickFunnels own your domain and not you? So if you actually went through this process today, if you watch the video in the OnePager, you'll see you're actually buying the domain through Google. So it kind of takes you out to the Google workspace, you buy your domain there, and then it brings you back into ClickFunnels. So you own your domain inside Google, and you can control the renewal there. So if you wanted to transfer it, so it's your domain, ClickFunnels does not own it for you. And then I'll just run through a couple here, and then Lee, if you are want to pick up any from the chat. Dutch is asking, should I attach my already existing DNS for the homework today? It depends what you mean by the already existing. So if you already have a website or a funnel somewhere else, I'm always very cautious. I would not connect something there, because you're moving it from one place on the internet to another. Wouldn't do that unless you specifically, so if I've got like moragbrand.com somewhere, and now I want to do it for Your First Funnel, then yes, I would. If you have got an existing domain, because this is Don's question, is okay, well, what, you've already got a domain somewhere. A lot of us have got domains, and like GoDaddy, Namecheap, you can connect those up. So when you're doing today's homework, Okay, all you need to do, so when you go to sites and funnels on the left, and then of course domains is down at the bottom, and you'll see you've got a couple of options. You can, let me just move, let me know if my video is sitting over here, but you can see connect. Well, here's what Russell showed you by domain. So when you click that, it will take you to Google, set it up, and then you're good to go. Or you can do connect existing domain, and it's an automatic, you just like put in your details like, okay, it looks like this domain is with Namecheap, and then it will connect it up. So it's much more intuitive for those of you that have used like ClickFunnels 1.0. This is a much more intuitive process. It's smooth, it's fast. So by domain, if you don't already have one, or connect existing. Now you will see in today's video that Russell, you know, he's already got russellbrunson.com. So he went and bought another one. And you can see here, so like moragbrand.com, I've already had that. I've had that for years. What I did today was I bought Morag and Brand, right? So I've got an external and also this one. You will see the reason I've left this screen open is this might happen to you. It kind of will look stuck on securing the internet, everything there. It will give you a message that, okay, it can take up to 48 hours for everything to catch up. So if you're like that and it's like, oh, it's not doing anything, just give it some time. I'm going to check back tomorrow, and I eventually expect it to be nice and green and connected, and then I'll take it from there. You can, even though like it still said securing, you can still go ahead and go to, right, like we did today, go to your theme, you can pick the theme there, and you can get that set up as well. Okay, all right, Lee, do you want to grab a question from Q&A as well?
Yeah, so Brandon is asking, he's getting a lot of invalid login errors when trying to set up existing domain through Namecheap, even though login is correct and tested.
Okay, invalid, let's see, login, we're trying to set up. Okay, so what that indicates, even though it's correct and tested with Namecheap, I mean, I use Namecheap and I did it today. So if ever I do that, it means double check your password. More often than not, it's going to be just a simple typo that you're putting in when you do that. So Brandon, double check your password with Namecheap. If you do get stuck, if for some reason, like you've double checked, you're typing it in. And the really nice thing when you're like trying to connect up to Namecheap through ClickFunnels, you can click the eye icon so that you can see what you're typing in. If you still get that error, like you just cannot move forward, reach out to support, and we'll put the email address in chat as well. If you're watching the replay, I'll put it underneath here too, but you can reach out to support, let them know the issue you're having. If you could record a screenshot or take a screenshot, that's going to help them as well. So Brandon, hopefully that helps, but do let us know if you need any further details there. Let's see. So Evelyn is saying in Q&A at 10:30 at night, now that's commitment, just going to bed, can I do it tomorrow? Absolutely. Inside the Facebook group, you'll have the replay. It will be available until tomorrow morning when Russell goes live, which will probably be afternoon for you. So yes, we're keeping the replays in the group, but for that very limited time. If you haven't yet upgraded to VIP, it's always a good chance to do so, because then you'll be able to kind of watch the replays at your convenience. Okay, and remember, the link for VIP is at the top of the OnePager. So Evelyn, thank you for staying up late, but yes, you'll be able to do it tomorrow. Okay, let's see. Can you set up multiple domains if you have more than one? Yes. You can bring in multiple domains. So yes is the answer there. Today, though, we're just obviously focusing on that one domain. Okay, do we have to point our DNS from Namecheap to you guys? So for those of you that are using Namecheap, it's not necessarily pointing the DNS because, okay, DNS, for those, like, we don't want to get too technical, but it's domain name servers. So it's essentially where on the internet should this domain live? Where should this? So it will give you very specific instructions. It's literally copying and pasting. So yes, you will have to do that, but there's like walkthroughs. It's not complicated. It took me 5 minutes to do it earlier. So Dutch, you will need to do some things in Namecheap, but it shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. Okay. Let's see, David, what's the website that I need to go to in order to get the homework? I am just going to copy.
I'll post it. I'll go ahead. I got it.
Lee's got it. So Lee is going to put the link. Fantastic. So David, you should be able to see that in there. Athena was also asking in chat, I can't find the one-pager link. So Lee has very kindly added it there. You should be good to go. So Ingrid has got an interesting question. I chose a different theme already. How do I change it to the new theme, I'm Jane Doe, after I install it? So I hear you on that one, because I did exactly the same, Ingrid. And I'm like, where's this new theme gone? How can I get Jane Doe? Because if you click explore new themes, okay, and then, okay, I want I'm Jane Doe, and it doesn't immediately, like, it's like, what's going on? Where do I do this? So let me show you. So I'll just click install at the bottom right. Okay, now it's not automatically going to go there, right? It's not automatically going to be there. What I need to do is it's probably going to be here in draft themes. So just click the arrow, and then I could just go ahead and install, right? Preview, customize, and then save. Right, so if it doesn't, it may be that it does just go there for you automatically, but as you can see, I've been playing around with this, and when I tried to switch it earlier, I had the same thing, and I was like, oh, I need to come down here. Okay, let's continue. How do I explore new themes? Because for task 2, I don't have the explore new themes. I have what you have. So Matthew, let's see. So just to recap how I got to this screen. So when you log into ClickFunnels, and you can see here on my dashboard, just click Site and Funnels. Okay, and then you'll see here, so now, and then if you come here and for some reason you don't have explore new themes, reach out to support. They'll be able to kind of look into your account and see, but you should be able to explore new themes. One thing that I would say is do make sure you're using like Google Chrome and you're not using like Safari. You know, Google Chrome or Firefox is generally going to be okay. Safari, not so much. Okay, Internet Explorer, probably not. So just double check your browser as well. Okay, but if you've done that and you're still not able to see us, do let the team in support know. They'll get you sorted. Okay, let's see. And for those of you raising hands, hopefully we will get a chance at some point. You will be able to unmute, but just to be mindful that we've got 60 minutes. We were already over schedule. You know, I could sit here all day. I'm sure Lee could, but we do just want to make sure we get as many questions.
Keep it on time.
Yeah. Let's see. So if you have a question, just a reminder, if you could just put like one sentence in the Q&A box, we'll be able to help you. If you're watching the replay, or if you're on Facebook and like, hey, I've got questions, I haven't got Zoom, put your question on Facebook. I can't guarantee we'll get to it in this hour, but as I say, I will be going back to Facebook and answering questions, kind of just typing it over there. Okay, so Scott just got in. How do I find this one-pager? It's not in my one-pager account yet. So when you click the link, it will look pretty much like this. Okay, you don't really have to make many changes to the one-pager, but what you can do up at the very top is just save. Or what you'll see is when you cross things out, eventually down at the bottom, it will be like, would you like to save this one-pager to your account? So let me go ahead, hit save. It's going to ask for your email address. Take extra care here not to put a typo in, because once you create that address, OnePager will email you. And now when you go in to log in and get your magic link, it will send it to that email. So to save the one-pagers, all you need to do is put in your email. Yeah. Davorka, if I decide not to continue the subscription after 30 days, will I still have access to the replays? That's, I imagine so if you purchased VIP, but that's definitely a question for customer service team. Again, the email that we've been dropping in chat here, if you ask them, they'll be able to confirm, but I would imagine so, because of course, if you've purchased access to the replays, it's separate to your ClickFunnels subscription. That would be my take, but of course, they'll be able to confirm. Okay. Kelly, can you go over workspace name versus site name versus funnel name? What does the workspace kind of translate to for us coming in from 1.0? Absolutely. So I'm not sure how familiar you are with ClickFunnels 2.0, but since it officially released last week, I'm going to assume not very. Okay, so if you imagine ClickFunnels 2.0 now gives us the ability to do like the agency model. Okay, so you've heard Russell talking about, well, what if I don't have a product or service? Well, you could build funnels for other people. So what I could do in here is I could have different workspaces for different clients. So if I was building funnels for client A, client B, client C, those would be different workspaces. So it's almost, if you're coming in from ClickFunnels 1.0, it's almost like different accounts, 3 different accounts. And then the sites. So of course, as you would know in 1.0, we could just build funnels and then the emails. The sites does give you the ability to have like a funnel hub. So this is where like your homepage for like your traditional website, but it's now a funnel hub because all of the links there. If you want to see an example of a funnel hub, go to marketingsecrets.com. Okay, perfect example of a funnel hub built in ClickFunnels 2.0. And of course, instead of going to pages, these are all going to funnels. Okay, so inside here, so you've got your workspace, which is like an account. You've got a site, which is like your funnel hub. And then of course, the funnels themselves, which would be almost identical to the funnels that you know inside ClickFunnels, but just with a ton more features, which we will be covering. Those of you, I have seen some questions. Are we going to be building funnels? Like, are we just doing the strategy here? Will we be able to roll up our sleeves, build some funnels? The answer is yes. I think it's actually tomorrow we're going to be building funnels. We're going to be doing it all in here. And that's why today you were asked, okay, let's get the domain up. Let's get the theme, and tomorrow we'll start looking at how we can build funnels. So yes is the answer there. Okay, let me just, and Lee, let me know if there's anything in chat, or if you want to jump in. Lee, as you know, is here with me, so if there's anything at all.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So I did see a question. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to talk about something very quickly. A lot of people asking, can I import my funnels from 1.0 to 2.0? Not at this time, simply because it's completely 2 different platforms, but by the end of this week, you'll know how to build funnels. And I would actually be like, okay, I'm going to build my funnel inside here. I'm sure eventually it's something that will come. For now though, let's focus on your new funnels that you're going to build. All right, so whilst I catch up on questions here, Lee, do you have anything that you've seen in maybe the chat or on Facebook that you'd like to jump in with?
Yeah, so there was you answered the question I was just about to ask. And,
sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, you nailed it. So the other question was about someone is actually trying to sign into to access ClickFunnels, and then they're getting ClickFunnels 1.0. Then they're being defaulted to 1.0 instead of 2.0, and they're wondering if there's actually a link. I thought the link was literally just go in and sign up for VIP, and that. I'll also give you the link where after you've signed up, if you already have an account, because I think I saw that question also come up, like once you have an account, where do you go to sign in so that you can actually sign in for your account? So I'll put that link in there, right? And I'll put it on Facebook too, so that once you have an account, if you've already registered and you're wondering how do you sign in, the link, I did put it on Facebook actually. So that's the link where you can go in and just sign in, click on magic link, and it'll send you the password.
Perfect. Thank you, Lee. Yeah, because once you've got your trial set up, you do want to get in there to start to build out your funnels, don't you? So excellent. Okay, so, and I'm just following through. If everybody is wondering, like, where are you reading these questions from? It's in the Q&A. So if you have questions, join us on Zoom, pop it into the Q&A, because as you can see, we're going quite quickly through these. If you've asked a question in chat and I haven't responded or Lee hasn't responded, feel free, just give us a nudge, like put it in Q&A, like, hey, I asked a question, we'll find it and then we will respond, because I know that kind of our objective as coaches is you're giving your time to be here. I want to make sure your questions are answered. Okay, so Matthew, now I have exploring new themes on my screen. Do you want me to screenshot it and show you or not? Secondly, if I go ahead and follow Russell's video for task 2, day 1, should I not encounter any more problems? So let's just look here. So task 2, creating and editing your page. So you'll see here, exploring new themes, install. Yep, you should be absolutely fine here, because let me just show you, once you've got the theme kind of active, all you need to do is just customize. Okay, and it's going to open up the editor here, and then you'll be able to come through and drag and drop. Okay, now the reason it's taken a little bit longer than it usually would is because, of course, we're in Zoom. I've got my video going, but you can see, and then you can just zoom out if it kind of comes huge. But yeah, it's really, for those of you that have used ClickFunnels 1.0, you'll be like, wow, this is so like easy now and familiar. If you haven't, it should be very simple. Like if you get stuck with anything, just let us know. Now, one thing that I would say, please don't fall behind because you're looking for a logo. Okay, like, oh gosh, I don't have a logo. I've got to go and spend $1,000 to get one, or I've got to like go into Illustrator and by Friday, like when we ask you, how are you getting on? Be like, well, it's great, but I fell behind because in day 1, my funnel needed a logo. Nobody cares what your logo is. Okay, the reason that it's there, that it's even on the page, is because it's now a trust factor. Okay, when people come to a site, what's up at the top left-hand corner in the middle? 99% of times it's the logo. If your funnel doesn't have a logo, like somebody senses kind of something's not quite right here, they might not even realize, oh, that's missing a logo. Just a trust factor. You can go to canva.com, create one for free, and put it there. Okay, done is better than perfect, and especially as you saw today, we're moving quickly. But I really think it's a good time to say this. There is a difference. Like I imagine at some point through the next 5 days, you will be out of your comfort zone. Okay, you're here. It's called a challenge because, as you probably see, we're not just making notes and like doing the theory, we're doing the thing. Because we're moving quickly, because it's new, there will be a point where, okay, what do I do? It's fine to be uncomfortable, but it's never okay to be overwhelmed, right? That's why you've got me. It's why you've got Lee. You're going to meet Eli as well. We are your kind of like friends and companions through this challenge. Tag us, reach out to us. If ever you feel overwhelmed, like, I'm not going to be able to finish, please tag us. Yeah. And I'm sure Lee, you're happy with that as well. If anybody's watching this and like, I can't quite do this, that they can just tag you on Facebook. Okay, that's our commitment to you to help you get over the finish line. Okay, so your logo, use a site like canva.com, you'll be able to do it for free. Okay, let's go here. So Emmanuel, I'd like to start setting a program to teach everything I've learned over the past 7 years. I'm stuck in the part where I have all these case studies of the amazing things I've done for other companies, but I haven't worked on a brand yet. So do you have any recommendations on how I go about selling a program, teaching everything I know about how to grow and monetize a brand successfully? If I've done it for clients and companies that have hired me, but I haven't done it for myself yet. Emmanuel, that is a fantastic question because so many of us are like, can relate to that. So I'm sure people are like, yeah, I've done the thing, but how do I translate that into something for myself? What I would do is maybe document your journey. Like from this point forward, call your shot. Okay, in the next 3 months, I'm going to spend the next 3 months building my personal brand, or I'm going to do the thing. Because guess what? When you're teaching someone how to grow and monetize their, and you've documented the journey, imagine how valuable that's going to be for them. Yeah. So obviously it depends on what kind of disclaimers like NDAs you've signed with clients as well, like how much you can share. It's always good to share case studies in that market, but I would definitely recommend documenting the journey. Lee, any input on that as well? Any thoughts there? Because it is a great question.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is sometimes we have those fears of, oh, am I even competent enough? Am I, am I good enough? And what if they see that, hey, I don't have any reviews, or I don't have any testimonies? And plenty of times, I think this is just a story we're telling them ourselves, when in actuality, like, the most important thing your dream customer really, really wants more than anything is to have that problem solved, right? Just think of it like when you had a toothache, right? And you had to go see the dentist. You probably didn't even notice where the dentist went to school. You didn't even care. You didn't even, like, there was so many things you didn't care. All you thought about was, can I get this pain? Can they take care of this pain, right? So I think focus more on the pain, and it's not to say that those conversations won't come in time to time. They will. But the key thing is to focus more on the people you want to serve, more than the story that's coming up, that's actually stopping you from doing what you need to do.
Agree, 100%. And Lee, you touched on it there, like the service. A lot of us, like, hands up, I hate selling. Like, I could not sell. If my life depended on selling, I would be probably homeless. But if you switch it into serving, so you've got the knowledge, you've got the experience, like, it's kind of selfish to keep it to yourself if you're able to help someone. So when you switch it and reframe it, like, I'm not selling, I'm serving. And I think it makes you feel more comfortable. If you aren't comfortable with sales, like, as I say, personally, I'm not. So as Lee said there, serve, focus on the people who you can help, who are currently in that pain. And you would have heard Russell today, like, people are either, like, when they begin, they're trying to move out of pain. So think about, what is their pain? Where were you 5 years ago? We used this as an example as well. And think about, what would you have found helpful too? Okay, great question. So keep the questions coming. No question is too big. No question is too small. This is what we're literally here for, is to answer your questions. Michelle is asking, do I purchase the email address associated with my domain? Personally, I always do, because you're setting up a business. Eventually, like, I don't know about you, but how do you feel how would you feel if you signed up for your first funnel and all of a sudden you were getting emails from, like, Russell at gmail.com? It just wouldn't feel like professional. So if you are, like, wanting to convey that professionalism, I probably would. It makes it easier. It shows that you've invested into your business as well, and you just have that additional respect. So I would, and I think if you buy your domain through, like, Google, it does give you the option at that point, like, hey, do you want to add on the email address with it? So personally, I would, but of course it's optional. Matthew, is this all on the homepage section where I can customize my theme? So I wouldn't worry too much about that today, but I think what you're mentioning there, Matthew, is the style guide. So let's say if I decided, I'm not really keen on, like, this color bar here, I want to change that, or I've got a particular font that I want to use, or I really want my buttons to be a different color. So instead of having to change every single funnel and every single page, down at the bottom, you'll see on the left-hand side, there's a style guide. All I need to do is click there, and now and this makes me so happy, I can come through and just amend these things, save it, and then it's done. So this is where you would amend, like, the theme, the appearance, but the content itself you're doing on the page. Okay, let's keep them coming. All right. So Kelly is asking, the themes apply to sites, and we can have different workspaces with different sites. And oh my gosh, yes, done is better than perfect. Yes. Okay, Kelly, you've got it. It sounds like you are ready to go. Stephanie, will this be available for replay? Yes, as far as I understand it, so Russell's videos are going to be available until he goes live tomorrow morning. The replay or the implementation sessions, we haven't actually had word yet, but I'm going to imagine that they're probably going to be available all the time in the Facebook group. But don't quote me on that. That's what I think. Maybe it changes, but you've certainly got, I would say, the next 24 hours. Yes.
Yeah, Shane just put it in the chat. So we're going fantastic. To have this available inside the Facebook group for at least 24 hours. And then tomorrow we'll have another implementation session in the morning. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. And then apologies that sometimes Zoom does come up with like anonymous attendee, but hopefully when I read the question, you will recognize it as yours. So it's saying, I know buying a domain is part of the challenge, but we skip that part. Or can the domain be a subdomain, meaning name of site /subfolder? Let me just show you here what has been put. So for example, that is not a subdomain, that's simply a path. So yes, but here's the thing, if you have a website already at nameofsite.com and you try and bring that into ClickFunnels like that, you're going to lose your other website. So don't do that. That is not a subdomain. Okay. So if you already have nameofsite.com somewhere else and you don't want to move it, what you would want to do, let's say subfolder, let's just go here. Okay. And then it would look like that. So it's where you have subfolder nameofsite.com. That's a subdomain. And where you would create that would be wherever your domain is. So whether you're buying it from Google, I need to double check if you can do it there, but if you've got it in Namecheap already or GoDaddy or any of the other ones, you simply create a subdomain and then link it up just as you would do a brand new domain. Because when you create a subdomain like that, it's like you've now got two separate domains. Yeah, it's separate from your main website. So great question. Apologies, I don't know your name, but hopefully you see this or you're here with us and you get that reply. If anybody needs clarity on that, let us know. Okay, so then Matthew is asking, is this would it come later in the week? So what we are actually going to be doing today, I would just focus on the things that are in the OnePager. So you can see, play in the editor, right? Find the theme, because the more you use something and just play around with it, do not be afraid of breaking it. You're not going to break ClickFunnels. I know whenever we go into something new, it's like, oh gosh, I've got to be really careful because everything might disappear. Well, guess what? That's why you've got us. You've got literally the whole of the ClickFunnels team. It would be the best time to break it. If you're going to break ClickFunnels, do it today. So don't be afraid. Like, just press the buttons, see what they do, test it out. That will give you the confidence to go ahead and just play some more. And then when it comes to doing as we move through the week, you're not going to have that fear. Yeah. So I would just say, play in the editor, move things around. What happens if I do that? Okay. Oh, I want my social media things to be at the top. How can I do that? Okay. If you get stuck, this is why you're going to have Lee tomorrow morning. So say, hey, I'm trying to do this thing, and Lee will be able to help you out, just as we're doing today.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a couple of great questions, Morag, if it's okay, if you'd like to. So there's one from Judith, and she's asking, like, she would like to transition from private lessons and scale up. She teaches Spanish to snowbirds in Mexico, but she's not sure how to scale it because it's a long process.
Okay, so what I would ask is make sure that you're publishing. Okay, that you're putting, like, you've got a Facebook page, that you have also, it all comes down to your dream client. And you mentioned they're like snowbirds. So Lee, I'm not familiar with the term. Is that people, so I'm guessing in Mexico, is that people who like come away from cold countries to hot climates in the winter?
I think so. I was thinking so. Maybe Judith can
Judith,
clarify.
if you can clarify. But what I would do is really sit down and think. Remember, it all goes back to your dream customer. What pain are they having? So you mentioned, like, you're teaching Spanish. So maybe it's like, well, I love going to Mexico, but oh, if only I could order the food in a local restaurant, like, or if only maybe they've got a friend that they've met and they want to have a conversation. So think of the pain points. And then how can I help that person solve the pain? And instead of doing it one-to-one, which of course is going to take up a ton of your time, like, how can I come up with some steps here? What are some, maybe you do like basic conversation, you give tips to improve their memory when it comes to learning a language. But I would think of what are the pain points, go back to the ideal customer, and how can you help them solve that? Lee, anything that you'd like to add there as well?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like, try and really nail down, because scaling is just a matter of you serve one person, and then you serve many people of the same person, right? So I think the more you actually understand what is the language you're going to be using, how do you communicate to them, what are some of the challenges that they have, and then now it's just a matter of, okay, how can I talk to as many people, amplify? There's advertising, there's different channels, so there's so many different things you can do as far as scaling. But I think that will result to, after you've really understood, like, what is this person really like, these snowbirds, what are some of the challenges that they have, what are the conversations that they have, and the more you actually nail that, the easier it is to actually scale, because it's just a matter of now talking one to many.
Yeah. And don't forget, tomorrow, like, the whole lesson is going to be about, okay, well, how do we grow our email list? Because once you've got an email list, you can then present to them the solution and you'll be able to make them an offer. So I would really spend today, once you've done today's homework, like, okay, who am I serving with this funnel? So great advice there as well. Emmanuel's run into an issue with saving. So we will put that, Lee, if I could possibly ask you to put the email address, so that if anybody does run into issues, you mentioned, when I said there, put it to its limits. And remember, we have just, like, it's early days to do, like, anything that you see that's not expected, reach out by email, let us know, and the team will be able to get that, kind of look into it and tell you, okay, here's what you need to do. So I think Lee's going to put the link in there for you, so you can just send them an email and let them know what you're experiencing. Okay, Dutch is asking, are we supposed to work on the homepage for the funnel or the storefront section? Just the homepage. So as you can see, let's exit out here. So just a reminder of how we get back there. So from your dashboard, oops, okay, let's go back to the workspace. Okay, so from your dashboard, just click Site. Okay, Sites and Funnels. Okay, and then just here, Site Overview, hit Customize. That's all you need to do today. And by all, like, if you want to kind of, oh, what does this do? But we are going to be doing it step by step through the week. So personally, I would just stick to, okay, as long as I've got my homepage, that landing page done, I'm going to be happy. Okay, let's continue back through. Hopefully this is helpful so far. Do let us know, like, the implementation, if it's helping, if you're getting your questions answered. Let's see, how do we change the name of the workspace? Do you know, that's not something I've ever tried to do. And I'm like, should I put ClickFunnels to its test right here? So I would imagine, no, I don't want to do that right here, just in case.
I think it's under settings. Yeah, under settings. If you go to settings, I think I've done that once. Yeah, settings, and then
workspace name.
There you go. Yeah, so and then just change the name. Yeah,
so I'm going to just do your first funnel. Okay, so settings on the left-hand side, the gear icon, update workspace, and there we go. So yeah. Fantastic. All right, this is where, like, teamwork is just so good. Okay, so Kelly, that's how you change the name there. Mauricio, good to see you, and Lee. Great to have, like, so many people back with us again, as well as all the brand new people. So where can I find what the new ClickFunnels 2.0 includes, like tech support, etc.? Also, please inform when will you know the schedule on these calls. So because this is a live event this week, there's no schedule as such. We've got the start time each day, which is, I believe, 11 a.m. Mountain, which is, Lee, you're going to have to help me out with time. Is it 1 p.m. Eastern?
Yeah, okay. 1 p.m.
Okay, and remember, Lee shared that link for, like, time zone converters. So we start at that time each day. Obviously, because we've got speakers, I think tomorrow will be a little bit shorter, but essentially how it works is once Russell and the speakers finish, after about an hour after that time, an hour and 20 minutes or so, then we'll be starting live immediately, because of course there's the VIP Q&A that happens. And if you want to join those Q&A sessions with Russell, at the top of your one-pager, you'll find there's a link there to upgrade to VIP. So of course you would be in that session. And once that finishes, you would then come to the implementation session. So no set schedule as such. We will try to keep it more, like, to a consistent time, but of course there's no guarantee, simply because we are live. Okay, Nikki, can you post the link for the one-pager again? Absolutely. We will put it in chat here for you. Okay,
Oh,
there we go. All right, it's okay. I've done it. So Dutch, you're very welcome. Katrina, how do you create multiple workspaces? So inside your account, again, this is probably not something I'm going to do right now. It will be something that if I can't show you today, we will be able to show you tomorrow, simply because, as you can imagine, this is our first implementation session. So we never know quite what we're going to be asked. But I would imagine it's probably under settings of your main account here, but we will certainly get that answer for you. I may even, as soon as we jump off here today, I want to find out, okay, how do I create a new workspace? And I will let you know. Unless Lee, do you know?
What was the question?
So how do I create more than one workspace? So inside
no, I'm not familiar with that yet.
Okay, I mean, I'm tempted to say it's over here, but I don't want to experiment and then we're just like wasting time while I just click about. So I will find out, because it's in here somewhere, I know that, but just to be like quick with you, I will come back to you. Okay, so Katrina, what I'm going to do is I'm leaving your question open here in Q&A. In fact, I've just taken a screenshot. So I'm going to mark it as answered. I've taken a screenshot. I will follow up with you in Facebook as long as you're under the same name so I can tag you. And then I'll say, hey, here's how we do it. I'll probably do like a Loom video or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so
there's a couple of questions.
Yeah, go ahead, Lee. Yes.
Yeah, the question that's recurring is there's a lot of people who actually have an existing domain. And the key question that I'm seeing is, how can they bring their domain over? And then there was another one that I saw that if they bring their domain over, will that change their DNS records, So I think what will happen is you can absolutely bring your domain over, if it's registered somewhere else, you can still bring it over, right? And there's two methods that you can do it. The first one is automatic, where you literally just go through the prompts. It'll walk you through, hey, step by step, click on it, sign into where you've registered your domain, and then authorize it. Even if it's because I did mine, I was using, it's actually on Cloudflare. It's actually a Namecheap domain, but it's on Cloudflare. And it allowed me to literally just go in and authorize Cloudflare to actually bring in those DNS records so that now I can connect my domain over to ClickFunnels. That's one way of doing it. If you don't want to do the automated version, you can absolutely still do it manually. So there's a manual option where you literally click and then it gives you the actual DNS records. And then now you can copy and then go over to your registrar and actually paste so that you can redirect that domain over to ClickFunnels. The question that I saw come up was, hey, if it changed my DNS records, and maybe that was an active domain that you had. So all you have to do is just remove it and then either create a subdomain or just register a different domain if you have an existing website or an existing funnel on your current domain. So I think those were some of the questions that came up a lot as far as domains, and it's been really simplified as far as how to, because now there's all these prompts they'll literally walk you through as you go ahead and register your domain. Now the other thing is the propagation may take a while, because remember we have, there's a lot of people that are actually registering and transferring their domain. So if it doesn't, if it doesn't propagate, meaning it doesn't become live almost immediately, just give it some time.
Yeah, and that time, just if anybody is wondering like how long, it can take up to 48 hours. So do be patient there. So great advice from Lee on bringing that in. And remember, we've got tech support. So if you need any help, if any of this, it should be like, as I said, I did it for 2 domains this morning. 5 minutes. But if for some reason you run into something, do reach out to tech support. We put the email address in chat a few times as well. So you shouldn't be like, how do I reach them? Just send them an email. They'll be able to help you. Arcia, Arcia, I will come to your question. I just recognize, I'm sure you're not shouting at me, but it's all in capital letters. So yeah, all I can see now is that question. But going to go back to Q&A. So let's see, anonymous attendee, again, apologies that Zoom does this. And just a quick time check, we've got about 15-20 minutes left here. We are going really quickly through questions. You might be thinking, does everything at ClickFunnels happen really quickly? The answer is yes, but You can always get feedback from us. If ever there's something that's not clear, if ever you're watching the replay and it's not clear, just tag us. Obviously, don't tag Russell. You can imagine he's probably got thousands, probably won't see it, but you can always tag us and we will do our very best to help. Okay. So, anonymous attendee, if I want to start a non-profit venture that would be more of a public service, is there a way that ClickFunnels could help with getting that started? I have a domain name, but haven't started making a website. You have 30 days. If you sign up for VIP, you can get a 30-day free trial. So in that 30 days, I would double down. And we've got 5 days here. Like by the end of this week, I would be like, right, I'm doing nothing else this week, but by the end of this, I'm going to launch my funnel. And that way it's done. And then you've got 3 weeks and we're going to cover traffic here. We're going to cover getting people to your funnel. So if you double down on that, you've got 3 weeks to kind of start getting some results. So that would be my advice, is use the free trial to get the traction going. Okay, Dutch. Is there an extra fee or charge to set up the payment section to process credit cards? You'll be pleased to know, no, there isn't. We're going to cover this a little bit later in the week, though, because of course, when you have a funnel, you want to make money with the funnel. So we will be covering that later. Matthew is asking, what does a domain actually do and how's it different from a website? So when we talk about domain, we actually mean like, okay, clickfunnels.com. That's the domain, the name of the, like, what does somebody type in? A website is what they see when they type that in. So a domain, okay, what should the domain name be? Right, when we buy that domain. So today, that's why we're doing something really simple. So for you, Matthew, you would go ahead, you would log in here, you would follow the steps, click on domains, buy domains, and do, okay, I'm going to buy matthewhodge.com. Right, that's all. And then, of course, what we're going to do tomorrow is show you how to link that up to a funnel and how to build it there. Okay, let's see, Nikki. I accidentally selected the Funnel Hub theme this past weekend, and now I can't seem to change to any other theme or select the I'm Jane Doe theme. How do I move away from the Funnel Hub theme and select it? So as you probably heard me mention, it happened to me earlier. One thing that I would advise is it can take a few minutes, and I think it can take up to 30 minutes, because when I came in here, and then, so you'll see when I go to explore new themes, and what I'm going to do here is move away. Like I'll make a mistake, like, okay, let's do this one. Oh, what does this one do? Install theme. All right, so you'll see this one, like I've installed it. Where's the green theme? It hasn't, it's not active, it's still here. But now if I go to draft themes, okay, well, eventually, but then what I would do is customize, right? And I know that's not the green one, but all I would do here is customize it, open up the green one, and then save. As long as you have, in fact, let me just, while this loads. So let's say here, I'll just put my name in here. Okay, here, oh, sorry, my mouse is being funny, right. Okay, so you'll notice, pay attention to the top right-hand side, the top right-hand where that save button is. Even though I've typed in my name, the save button isn't yet active. I need to click out of here and now I can save it. So I really need to make sure I do that so that my changes are saved. All right, now that I've done that, and then when I go back, okay, and then if I just click here, set some funnels, and then, okay, so you'll see it's still that old one, even though I saved the new one. So it is taking like a few minutes here. So I would just give it some time. If it takes longer than you would expect, but I think at the moment you can imagine like we're all jumping into ClickFunnels right now. We're all doing the same thing. So that could be why. But yeah, that's how, if you've done it and it just goes back, then yeah, you should be good. Okay, and Nikki, you know, if for some reason it doesn't update, or again, reach out to support so that they can help you. Esteban, I want to start an internship for people who struggle with addictions but combine it with self-improvement. I don't have the money to start and I want to fund the clinic with funnels. What would be the best approach for this? So again, your ideal customer, but also who are the people that can afford your service, or who are the people you could have a funnel just for kind of donations for the clinic. If you have a good cause, you could reach out to the people that could help you fund it and kind of tell them why. On your post, you could say, okay, if it's self-improvement, you could have a funnel for self-improvement, helping. So let's say I'm helping business owners overcome procrastination. I could create a funnel around that. And then as part of the funnel, I could have in my funnel hub, in my homepage, I could have giving back. And in that funnel, when somebody clicks, oh, how do you give back? What do you do? And then I could talk about the clinic and talk about the addictions and how this is my mission, just like Russell did with Operation Underground Railroad. Okay, so it's a mission. It's not connected to funnels, but you can also get funds through there. You can do the thing around self-improvement. By the way, if you'd like to donate, this is my mission. Or you can have a funnel just that is that giving back. Yeah. So I think, Esteban, that's what I do, especially as you're bootstrapping this. Also reach out to those people. It's going to be about relationships. If you cannot afford to do something, reach out to the people that will be able to help you, but don't just go asking like, hey, can you give me some money? Think about how can I serve that person so that then you've got a relationship with them. So that would be what I would do there. It's like, okay, what are they struggling with? Okay, how could I help their team or something there? Yeah, hopefully it helps. Hopefully it gets some ideas rolling here, and we'll be able to bounce some more off over the next few days as well. And then Matthew, once the funnel is created at the end of the 5 days, can I use it as a drive traffic for further 3 weeks for free? If you've got the 30 days trial, yes, that's the whole intention here. As Russell said, you know, his kind of evil ulterior motive is that you love building funnels and seeing results from funnels so much that you renew your subscription at the end of that. So yes, you can. Obviously though, you will have to pay, like if you're running Facebook ads, we're not going to pay for your Facebook ads. Yeah, we can't do that much for you. Okay. Let's see. So, Arcia, by the way, before I continue, Lee, is there anything coming up in chat that you would like
No,
to
yeah. So I've been taking care of him. So
Thank you.
just one, I know there was one question that came up that was actually a great question. Maybe we can talk about it. A
Sure.
couple of people are asking, when does the actual 30-day trial start? Does it start today, or does it start the day they actually paid up? So
Oh, okay.
that's a great question.
Yeah, it is a good question. And I think I'm stumped. I don't know is the answer. But what I would guess is it's going to be the day that you signed up. Okay,
Yeah,
the day that you
thought.
signed up, you would have received an email kind of saying, here's your link to log into ClickFunnels. I would take that as day 0 or day 1, and then the 30 days starts from there. I will check. I don't know if Shane's still with us and can perhaps clarify, but I will double check so that I'm sure this is a question as we move through this week. It's something that we're going to be asked. So I will double check on that. Exactly when does it start?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think that was the one question, and then yeah, the others were pretty. You know, Jessica had a question about what would be the appropriate funnel for she's actually in the service industry, and she was wondering which funnel should she actually focus on, and just you know, if you're in the service industry, I think like it's always a great place to just start with the homepage, right? Because when people come to your site, the very first site they want to know is, who is this person, right? And so you want to have a home site where you're literally just addressing the key question of what problem do you solve, and who do you do it for? So I think those two questions, so starting with where Russell is actually recommending, is actually a fantastic place, because no matter what site you go to, whether it's a funnel, the first thing people want to see is, who is this person I'm interacting with, right?
Yeah, exactly. So no matter what business, you need like a funnel hub or homepage. So yeah, thank you. All right, so Shane is checking on that as well. So Shane is looking into that 30 days. When does it start for us? So thank you. Okay, so Arcia. Okay, so Arcia has got trouble with the small chat, which is completely understood. Do you have the Zoom link for tomorrow's VIP? The marketing team are aware, like we saw a lot of people were having issues with the VIP link today. Remember, you will have access. So the marketing team is aware. They're going to email. You should be receiving further details, whether it's in the Facebook group or via email. And remember, check your spam folders as well. But I would expect you'll be able to have that link there. So a link, and it's not necessarily going to be a Zoom link. It will be an email with a link that says like, click here to access, maybe it says the dashboard. And then once you get to the dashboard, there will be a button that says go into the VIP area. So look out in your emails. Again, look out in the Facebook group for an update from either Shane or, you know, the team. And yeah, we'll get you into VIP tomorrow if you purchased it. Don't forget, you can, you know, if you want to email support as well, but do double check your spam folders too. Okay, so you had a question that you wanted to ask. Is there a replay of it this afternoon? So yes, and I'm sure, Arcia, that lots of people are like, well, everything that we did today, where can I go back and watch this? Inside your Facebook group. And just like you're watching here now, you'll be able to come in. Now, usually we would put the replays under guides, but you will be able to see if you go to the guides tab, okay? And then you'll be able to see down here, guide number 2, the recordings of Russell's trainings, and also guest speaker replays. So you can come back in here at any time and you'll be able to see it in there. If you're looking for the implementation session replays now, so if you're looking for this one, I'm not sure if we will be putting it in guides, but until then, you could maybe look at one of my posts, so where it says Morag is live now. And if you click on my name, it will bring, in fact, it probably because I'm live, it's not going to do that. But if you click on my name, it will bring up all of the posts I've made in the group and you'll be able to see this session. And equally, when Lee goes live tomorrow afterwards, so you just click on the name of the coach or the consultant, you'll see everything they've done. At the moment, you can see it's featured. It may or may not stay there. So I wouldn't use that as the way of kind of like finding them. But yes, the replays will be in the Facebook group, at least until tomorrow. Like beyond that, we can't guarantee anything. Okay.
Yeah, so Shane just,
yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Thank you. No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so Shane just confirmed that free trials actually begin as soon as you sign up for, the minute you sign up for ClickFunnels 2.0, that's when your 30-day trial actually starts.
There we go. Okay, so the clock is ticking. And you know, I don't know about everybody else, but when you've got a deadline, it's like, I think it was Zig Ziglar used to say, like, the busiest day of the year is the day before you go on vacation. I don't know if that's true for you, but I know it's true for me. The busiest day, because when you have to get something done, because like you're not going to be around, right? So use it here. The clock is ticking. You've got a deadline, and let's get it done. We've got the first 5 days, then the bonus day. Marta's asking, do you know if I can switch from ClickFunnels 1.0 to 2.0 using the 30-day challenge link? I think this may be around the templates that we gave in the 30-day challenge at this time. No, obviously once we're through this challenge, it may be from there, but at this point in time, no. Sandra, I can't log into my first funnel page using my email and password. Please help. Oh, I think I'm in chat now. So any questions on that, any technical questions, we do ask that you reach out to customer technical support so that they can help you, simply because they'll be able to, they know the answer quickly, like login issues and things that I'm afraid are not my expertise. But I can see in Q&A, Sandra, you've also put the question around, I have a product on Shopify. Do I create a funnel here or there? I'm confused. So what I would do, I also use Shopify, or I used to. Shopify, think of it like going into a store, right? You have to know what you're there for because you get presented with a great kind of wall of products. That's Shopify. With a funnel, I like to think of it like you know, when they've got at the end of the aisle, the promotional products, like the ones that you can't miss, that's your funnel. So yes, I would use a funnel, and Shopify, I mean, as I said, I used to use it and I don't need to anymore. So take that, you know, as we go through this week, you'll see how you can use funnels for physical products and then make your business decision on that. I think you're going to be suitably pleased. Okay. Are there videos for ClickFunnels 2.0 training like there are for 1.0? Yes. We will share the link. I will try and tag you, Nikki, but yes, there is a whole knowledge base of training videos. What I would say, though, is simply be mindful of time in this challenge. probably not going to be the best time to watch them, because we are going to be taking you through, just like we did today, like step by step. You can see there's no guesswork here. So I would say make your full focus on the challenge. We're going to show you everything you need to do. And then afterwards, yes, you'll have those training videos. You can dig around. You can kind of, well, I want to do a webinar. What am, you know, how would I do that? So yes, they are available. Okay, Michelle, why did I get a link to sign up monthly for $297 a month, but then I got another that said $197? I'm not sure is the answer. That would be definitely an email for customer service. They'll be able to kind of look at the emails and see why. So reach out to them and just say, hey, I've got two things going on here. Can you confirm? So yes, there we go. Okay, Alex. Is the current functionality of ClickFunnels 2.0 limited during the 30-day trial period? No, it's, as far as I know, it's an unlocked version. There are no limitations, like we don't have like a trial account. Some, you know, platforms give you very limited features. We're going to let you have full run to do everything that you need to get your funnel built and launched and make it, hopefully making money. Okay, so I'm at the end of the Q&A for now, and look at that, right on the minute. Like you would think we've rehearsed this, wouldn't you?
I know, right? Can we take just two more questions?
Sure,
And then,
yes,
so
absolutely.
Karen had asked a question. It's about membership area. There's an amount of domains. So she's asking if there's an amount of domains that you can connect there, or is it one core domain and then subdomains per course?
Oh, I'm not really sure, because I know that you can bring in lots of, like, several domains, so there's no limitation. Yeah, you can bring in, but what we're doing, and like you wouldn't need lots of different domains for one course, because like if let's say so let's say I bought morebrand.com, right? That's my course thing, but then in my funnel hub, so I've got a course, I've got course dot blah blah blah, and then it's all linked there. So I would only ever need one domain. That's all we want to do. We want to keep it as simple as possible. Yeah.
And so there's also a question that's actually tying into this. Allison has a question about, hey, what are subdomains, and you know, how do they tie into a main domain or a website? So I guess the best way to really look at subdomains is, and when they come in handy, is let's say for some reason you have this brand that you're looking to build, and you want the core domain. Let's say like clickfunnels.com is the main domain, right? And then you have like other different departments that are more specialized. Let's say like, hey, you have the help.clickfunnels.com, you have the marketplace.clickfunnels.com. So all these are not necessarily like independent entities, but they all kind of tie into ClickFunnels. It's just that they're addressing different departments within ClickFunnels. So that's when you would use a subdomain, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for like today's homework, if you're like, well, should I use a domain, or do I need a subdomain? Like, how would I know? I would follow the steps in the OnePager. And only if you already have a website, if you already have like your name out there. And I think Russell even simplified it by saying, okay, if you already have a domain of yourname.com, think of a variation. So you saw that he bought another domain today. And I would actually do that so that we're not kind of over like, do I need a subdomain? Should I do this? Even if you call yourselves the official blah, or, and then your name. So just a modification of your name rather. So today I would say nobody should be buying subdomains, or how do I set it up? Because what that's going to do is take your focus onto, okay, I need to know how to create a subdomain and okay, if you already have it, buy a domain, and let's keep it simple, because we've got a lot to do and we don't want to kind of get you overwhelmed. Yeah, it's simple, but I do think we want to just keep it straightforward. Okay, so awesome. Any other questions, Lee, before we wrap up for today?
That's it. Fantastic. Okay, so great job.
Thank you so much. Everybody who kind of waited and then jumped on with us, kept the questions coming. Thank you so much for giving us your time here. Hopefully it's been valuable. Lee is going to be with you tomorrow morning. You can find his session if you want to get reminders on Facebook as well. Facebook is quite helpful. Go to the group, check the events tab. and you'll see that tomorrow's session with Lee is already in there. If you click see more, you'll see you've got Russell's training, and then there's Q&A as well. So if you click in there, you'll get the link to join, and also just mark yourself as going. And that way, Facebook, when it comes to that time, will remind you you've got that event to go to too. So if you didn't get your question answered today, we'll try to get to it tomorrow as well. You can tag us on Facebook. Hopefully this has been helpful, and enjoy the challenge. Day one, almost done. I think there's more to come in the Facebook group, but enjoy the rest of the day, and we will catch you tomorrow. All right.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.